Hey, everybody! It's time for another story. Are we ready? Do you remember I asked last week, where did we come from? Did you guys figure it out? Well, we're going to find out today, okay? And before we do that, it's the last week of the school year. We're almost done. Time to wrap it up. Have you guys learned a lot this year? All right, well, let's have a look at the front of the book, okay? There it is. Where Did I Come From? A book about origins for Asatru children like you by Folkbuilder Cummings. All right, are you ready? Let's go see what the book has. I got real small again. Do you remember how I did that? 1, 2, 3. Yay. All right. So this book was written for some very special people. Brian, Gordon, Mason, and Madeline. All right, let's see what it is. Have you ever wondered where you came from? Where everything came from? Long, long ago, our people wondered the same thing. Moved by the gods, they created what we call lore. The lore tells stories to help us understand things. Do you know who that is? He's wondering too. In the lore, we hear about a time when nothing existed yet. There were no people, no stars, or planets. There was not even a sun. All there was a big chasm, like a deep valley in the middle of the universe. This chasm was called Ginnungagap. 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 Ooh, scary. Big void in the middle of nothing. In Ginnungagap, the matter and energy that everything everywhere is made from came together. Our people long ago thought of the matter and energy as ice and fire. There was also what we think of as magic in the big chasm. We can think of this magic power as the will of Odin, or Odinic force, or life force. That's right. Even before Odin lived in Asgard, his will existed in Ginnungagap. Fire and ice in the big chasm, Ginnungagap. The will of Odin did not want to just stay in a big chasm in space with matter and energy. It wanted to have new ways to use its power to create and to bring order. So the will of Odin used the matter and energy to create order and life. The first creation was Yggdrasil. 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 Yggdrasil is the basis of all order in the cosmos. Our ancestors thought of Yggdrasil as a giant invisible ash tree. The roots and branches reach to every world. Yggdrasil. But having order and Yggdrasil were still not enough. The will of Odin wanted more life, and for each life form to be better than the ones that came before. The next creatures to form were a giant named Ymir. 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 And a giant cow or aurochs called Audhumbla. 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 These beings from the lore show life slowly becoming better, but they still had a lot of chaos in them. See the cow, Audhumbla, and the giant, Ymir? They're still not right. Ymir was a very strange being, sort of like a monster. He still had too much chaos in him. But remember, the divine will wants the living creatures to get better and better. So, from Ymir himself came more life. The lore tells us that under his left arm, a male and female giant grew. They were named Mimir and Bestla. Mimir and Bestla were not monstrous like Ymir, but beautiful. They were the first of the good giants, or Ettins. These Ettins are forces that are helpful to the gods and men. You see under his arm, Mimir and Bestla. Ymir's chaotic nature also made bad creatures. From his feet came a horrible three-headed giant named Bergelmir. This was the first of the bad giants, or Thyrses. These giants hate the order of the universe and everything the gods have made. They fight against men and the gods to destroy everything. Between his feet, we get the big mean giant, 3 heads, Bergelmir. Audhumbla, do you remember her? The giant cow? Audhumbla also helped to make better kinds of creatures. She licked the ice in Ginnungagap, and slowly as she licked away, a man was revealed. His name was Buri. He was big, strong, and beautiful, but he still had chaos in him too. He drank milk from Audhumbla, and he actually gave birth to a son, Bur. Now, we all know that men can't have babies. This shows the chaos that was still a part of Buri. But as the divine will pushed things to get more perfect, his son Bur was not like him. Bur married the good giantess Besla. Bur and Besla. Now Ymir and Audhumbla made new beings in very strange ways. This was because they still had so much chaos in them. But as more life was created, the creatures became closer and closer to what the divine will, Odin's will, wanted. And this meant that children should come from the union of a man and a woman, like Bur and Besla. They had 3 sons, Odin, Vili, and Ve. Wait a minute. Did we just say that Bur and Besla had a son named Odin? Yes. The divine will now had made life good enough that it could embody a living being, our great god, Odin himself. See here, we have Odin, Vili, and Ve. The gods spent time learning and growing more powerful. There are many good stories telling how they did that. But in this book, we want to continue with the story of how the lore tells us things came to be. While the gods, Odin and his brothers, were working to get better and stronger, Ymir and Audhumbla were still there. They didn't change or get better. They were the same old chaotic beings. Remember that Audhumbla licked the ice in Ginnungagap for something to eat? You might wonder what Ymir ate. Well, he drank the milk from Audhumbla. But Ymir was stupid and greedy. He wanted more than the milk, so he killed Audhumbla to eat her. Oh no, he killed the Audhumbla. When Odin, Vili, and Ve heard that Ymir had killed Audhumbla, they decided that they had had enough of him. His time was past, as life had moved on to a higher level. The gods killed Ymir. They used his body to create the greater universe. Worlds, suns, and stars, the earth, which we call Midgard, water, plants, and animals, everything we see around us now in the natural world. So we can see how, through Odin's will, the raw matter and energy in Ginnungagap was used to form Ymir and Audhumbla. Then beings got better and wiser until nature was ready for the gods themselves to be born into it. Finally, the gods took the raw matter and energy from Ymir to make the beautiful natural universe we live in still today. Oh no, but it's going to be for better. It's going to make the universe. But you may ask, what about people? Where did we come from? Now we will tell that part of the story. The gods had made a beautiful, orderly universe, but they knew they still were not done. They wanted helpers, men and women, who would help them to keep order and make things better. One day, Odin, Vili, and Ve were walking near the sea on the beautiful world they had made. They found two trees growing so close together the branches seemed connected. Our lore tells us these trees grew from seeds that fell from Yggdrasil. So we know they had a special connection to that great tree that is the basis of all order in the universe. You see the two trees? They came from Yggdrasil. Odin and his brothers took these two trees and formed the first two of our people. Ask, a man, and Ymir, a woman. Odin sent his breath into them, making them his special people. With his breath, they also received a spirit or soul. Odin's brother Vili gave them speech, hearing, and sight. He also made their forms beautiful to behold. The third brother, Ve, gave them good minds that could think through problems, and also gave them the ability to move on their own. You see, this is Ask and Ymir with Odin, Vili, and Ve as they get ready and get all their gifts from the gods. Odin told Ask and his wife Ymir that they were created as perfect beings. He told them to be the parents of our world, our people. He also reminded them they must do their best to live according to nature and help to uphold nature's law. Ask and Ymir listened to Odin. They had 24 children, 12 sons and 12 daughters. They taught their children to worship the gods, how to work for the things they needed in life, and to always strive to become better. Over many years, our people grew in number, making many wonderful things. One day, two of those people, your mother and father, met. Though the love of your parents, another child of Odin was born. You see, Ask and Ymir, there are 12 children. Sorry, 24 children. 12 girls and 12 boys. Now you have learned how the divine will of Odin brought life into the universe. You know how the will made the life it created better and better until the gods were ready to be born into the universe themselves. And you know that the gods' best creation was our people. Always remember that the gods put some of themselves into us when they made us. Odin and all our gods live inside of you, and they want to help you to become better and better, just like them. See, little kids, boy and girl, just like you? Remember, Odin's always there with us. And that is the end of our story. Is everybody happy? Did we learn something? Are we ready for the next thing? Well, if you remember, let me get big real quick, okay? 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right. So that was the end of the story again. And guess what? School's almost over. So it'll be a little bit before you get any more stories, but I promise I'm working extra hard to get my friends to come help us. We're going to have lots and lots of stories next year, way more than we had this year. You might see those again too. You want to hear those stories again? All right. Well, everybody have fun, enjoy your summer, and be good, okay? All right. Bye.